Hello, my name is Ricky Lopez, and I am a semifinalist for the Orange County Artist of the Year. Question number 1. We are looking at you to represent Orange County as an Artist of the Year. How does the art you are sharing in this round represent you as an artist right now? In my opinion, an artist is someone who has both this incredible gift of creativity and a burning passion to express that creativity in a manner that is most personal to them. And what's most personal to me is film. With the art that I'm sharing now, I feel it represents me as an artist who looks to the classics to recapture that artistry, yet still create it in a way that fits my style of storytelling, in a way that my audience can easily understand it, yet still be moved by. What that means is, like any filmmaker, I will look to the works of others for inspiration, especially when it comes to genre or how a particular sequence was filmed that stood out to me. But I want my art to have its own uniqueness to it, so that when my audience watches it, they will know that it was a Ricky Lopez film. But more importantly, I want my films to have this effect that not only tells a story, but pays homage to the originals that started it all for us. Question number 2. How have you kept yourself motivated and inspired this year as you have had to adapt to the restrictions of living and creating during a global pandemic? This pandemic has certainly limited filmmakers in what they can and what they can't do to tell their story. But from my standpoint, I think that the restrictions that this pandemic has created have been somewhat of a blessing for me. This pandemic has influenced me to make art that is simple. I always thought that I needed to make films that required heavy amounts of dialogue or constant moving shots or big extravagant settings in order to be interesting or to be enough to grab an audience's attention. But that's not the case for everybody, me in particular. And through trial and error, I found that simple is better. The films that I've made have little to no dialogue, are mainly static shots. They've all been filmed in one location, and my peers still continue to enjoy them. And from that, I've learned that I don't need to emulate the style or the work of any other prestigious or intense filmmaker. I just need to continue focusing on making art that tells a story simply, yet powerfully. Question number 3. As you look toward your future as an artist, what do you see yourself doing? In what ways do you want to use your art to influence the world? And what work are you looking forward to creating? In the future, I see myself mainly as a film producer because I've always enjoyed the creative process in the pre-production stages, from creating a story treatment to organizing a budget to planning locations and schedules. I want my art to be capable enough to do more than just make an audience cry or laugh or feel or applaud throughout till the end. I want there to be a hidden message interweaved into the narrative, one that can educate, persuade, motivate, and challenge my audiences. I especially want to work on projects that portray a historical figure's life and legacy, because not only are those films able to bring life to a figure that is so beloved and so prominent in our history that we have been able to learn about them in school and have read in our books, but also because those films are able to inspire newer generations with what made those figures so important to our human history. Question number 4. You say it's actually mind-boggling when one realizes just how much of an emotional impact a film can have on the personal and social attributes that help shape our lives. The way we talk, the way we walk, even the way we handle certain situations is all influenced by what we see and hear on the big screen. Can you tell us about a film that has shaped your life? And do you have a story you are working on that you think will shape the lives of others? A film that shaped my life tremendously was Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. Now, while the premise and the actions that occur in the film aren't the kinds of things to emulate or be encouraged by, there are a few life lessons in that film that are reflected upon. For instance, one famous quote from Don Corleone is this: "A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man." Now, I think that this line can resonate with everybody who is a family member. And I firmly believe that it's important to always be there for your family, regardless of any circumstance. And currently I'm working on a story that focuses on 2 Latino siblings who are trying to make ends meet while living in America. I want to be able to tell stories that give positive familial representation to Hispanics and Latinos in mainstream films, but also to portray them in a good light and not as part of any controversy that occurs in their original countries or in society. I want to inspire my community, just as previous filmmakers have inspired me to pursue my passion and my future.